I can't be in that headspace. I can't micromanage that, because if you don't care about Islam, if you don't care about Allah, then I gotta go, because then you don't care about me. So if you don't care about the person, not the person's stuff, Allah, the one that made you, then how can I, trust that you'll care about who I am as a human being and just my basic human needs. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com. I'm an initial wife. For those of you that are new, just to give you some clarity, because some people are new, they don't know who we are. So welcome to our channel. I wanted to talk about, it's kind of like a story time slash very important topic. Okay. I remember, I'm going to get right into it. Okay. I remember when polygyny was first introduced to me as a young bride, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And you aren't either. It just was something that was in me as a 20-year-old bride. And I just looked at it as something that meant failure. I've said this many, many times before. I'll still say it because that is the story. That's what it was. That's how it felt. It felt like if I had to share, if I had to in any way, shape, or form, share time, to share nights, to share, just share. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't interested in doing it. I had seen my grandmother and different women that had come in and out of my dad's life, whether they be, he was married twice, so whether they be wives or whether they be, for clarity, my dad was not Muslim. He married, divorced, married, divorced. He was Christian, and I roll my eyes because he wasn't really consistent in anything that he really did, and he knew that about himself. So with that, the inconsistency of the behaviors and the things that the men did in the life, in my young life and in my teenage life, that scared me, because I saw them share and fail, share and fail, share and fail. And it wasn't polygyny. It was just, extramarital affairs. It was breaking up, overlapping women. It just was a mess. So for a 20-year-old me, it translated into, okay, polygyny is going to look like that. It's going to be a mess, so I'm not doing it. It was ridiculous of me to think then, although there are some really terrible horror stories. There are some things that have happened in, that lifestyle that are difficult. And we know that, and there are some successes. And I'm going to get to that very soon, because I feel like now that I have clarity, now that I work through personal development and wanting to be better and making much dua, that I feel like it is successful for me. I've seen it be successful for others too. Now, with that, the topic that I want to talk about is, do you want your husband to fail at polygyny? And this is to say, once he's in it. Now, early on in polygyny, I had the pleasure of speaking with a woman who had been an initial wife, or a subsequent wife, and who had become an initial wife after. So she was in polygyny, got divorced, and then she became just in a monogamous relationship with her husband. And it can be the other way around sometimes, but I had the pleasure of talking to somebody very early on that had the experience of being a subsequent wife and ultimately just in a monogamous relationship, I should say. She was an initial wife, but just for clarity. So she could kind of see both sides. And I really liked that, but it scared me because if I was going to hear the side of monogamy, I was going to hear the side of polygyny. And I wasn't ready for some of the things she said. One of the things she said to me, she was like, you got to learn polygyny. You got to learn what it's about. You got to learn what it is from an Islamic point of view, because that is what's going to matter, because you're a Muslim woman in polygyny. You're not a Muslim man in polygyny, which is much different. And I celebrate the fact that she made the distinction because I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that the set of responsibilities that I had were not the set of responsibilities that Coach Nazir had, has, or is going to have. So I had to understand the difference. And I was still working my way through all of my pain and all of my emotions. I was still working through that. So this was not easy to hear at all. I'm telling you, I was hot. I was mad. I was like, look, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to find out. And then I'm holding everybody accountable. It was a mess because she felt that energy. And she said to me, she said, Fatimah, you don't learn polygyny to take the rules and then you bend them to how you want them to be to serve you, to make him wrong. And that is key, because I wanted to make him wrong, because I didn't like how it was done. It could have been done better. And he said this a billion skillion times. I agree. I'm never going to change my stance on it. I'm going to always say it could have been done better. But the important part for me was that it was not done in a way which was haram, because if it had have been, and knowing him, he would have never done that. I just would have walked. I don't love someone enough to stay in a situation that is haram, or that is a situation that there's absolutely positively zero care at all about Islam. I can't be in that headspace. I can't micromanage that, because if you don't care about Islam, if you don't care about Allah, then I gotta go, because then you don't care about me. If you don't care about the person, not the person, astaghfirullah, the one that made you, then how can I, trust that you'll care about who I am as a human being and just my basic human needs. So I learned that day that the energy I had was the wrong energy, because if I was looking for something to be wrong, I was going to find something to be wrong. I wanted to be right. I wanted to be, what do you say? How do you say? I wanted to kind of be not on a high horse, because that has its limitations too. You get knocked off of there real quick. But I wanted to just, keep score. I was into the score keeping thing. Like if I find out the rules and then he's off in some way, he's going to hear it. And that was just not the place to be. That wasn't a healthy place. And it didn't serve me. It didn't serve my marriage. It didn't serve my children. It didn't serve my happiness. And I want my happiness served. I want to be a happy person. I don't want to be just married to be decorative. I don't want to be just another wife. I don't want to just be numbers. I don't want to be sequence. I don't want to be any of those things. I think I have more depth than that. I think that this life has more depth than that. And to shift my focus on what was going right versus what was going wrong helped me succeed in polygyny. And having those hard conversations with, our husband, having those hard conversations with my co-wife mattered, because that's where clarity came in. And then the questions they couldn't answer, which were the questions I had to ask myself personally, that's where I came in. And that's where I could activate my power. I could change what I could change. And what I couldn't change, I made dua that Allah make things healthy for us all. Make the best environment for us all. But that didn't mean I didn't have to do work. I had to work. We all had to work. Success takes work and dedication and commitment. So I wanted to commit to my happiness. I wanted to commit to the happiness and development of this family. I wanted to heal. I wanted to become empowered again. I wanted to find humility. I wanted to get my lessons out of life. And I'm still doing that. I don't have everything figured out. I have limits. And one of them is learning that you don't use polygyny to keep score. You don't use polygyny just to, keep control and have control over someone and wait for them to be wrong. I wanted to be right so bad. And I already, to a certain degree, was in a good position, but I couldn't see the forest for the trees. I didn't see or focus on what was going right. I had someone that was not playing with time. We both do. I have a co-wife that didn't want drama with me, didn't create drama, was just super supportive, was ready to talk, was ready to answer hard questions, and learn from me and me learn from her. I mean, just ready for a lot of it, And I have great bonus babies, just really great, good kids, And I love that about them, and just very compassionate, full of a lot of love, a lot of hugs. So everything was right. Everything had such great potential because everyone was willing to work and everyone was willing to support. But I had to be a team player, and I had to be a family member and say, you know what? What I've been doing so far, what success have I had from that? And I hadn't had any. And if I'm being honest, I didn't have any. I felt awful. I felt defeated. But a lot of my defeat, I was beating my own self up. Nobody was beating me up. Nobody was bringing me drama. Nobody was doing it. It's understanding that, shifting my focus and wanting everyone to win, including me. Everything turned around after that. Everything changed after that. Just seeing the big picture and understanding that I needed to trust the journey that Allah put me on. Maybe I don't know why, but I needed to understand that He was building me, and I needed to get out of my own way and let that happen. I'll always embrace my polygyny story. I'll always cherish my poly story. I'll always cherish my family, no matter what happens. No matter what happens. So that matters to me, because I remember when I was in a dark place, and like the quote says, if you're in a dark place, turn the light on. So I had to turn on my own light and not wait for somebody else to turn it on for me. And that feels so good. So understanding that I wanted our husband to be successful in polygyny, but not rob myself of anything that I needed to have. He didn't take from me, He added. And where he didn't know something, he found it out. Or he went and searched the answer, or he went and got the advice of a trusted person or somebody that was more knowledgeable. So the vulnerability and the willingness to find out or to work on himself or become more, like he always says, because he became more. I've been here since day one. He's become more because I know who he was in 1995. I know who he was in 1990, but I know who he was as a husband in 1995. And there's been massive growth. And I'm proud of him for that, because he works to be consistent. And I like that. And I celebrate it. And a lot of me celebrating that is because I see the relationship he has with Allah has gotten more deeper. And he always put him first. But it's just like, it's richer now. It's so much richer now. And I see him making dua, and I see him worshiping in the middle of the night. And it's something that has really, that humbled me, that made it something that I admire, I love to see Muslims worship, and they're not even thinking about what's going on around them. It's just them and Allah. And you can feel that, you can see it. So I celebrate that. and all the du'as he's made for our family, and that my co-wife has made, our children have made, that I've made, that our community has made for us, and maybe even you all. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for that. You have our du'as as well. But some ways to see, the fact that our husbands need to win at polygyny. Maybe some of them don't. Maybe some of them are not the man for the job. I'm not saying all of them are, because they're not. We get the good and we get the bad stories. So, and it's unfortunate. But some guys, some men are not the men for the job. But I'm here to talk about those that are really, really trying. The ones that are really, really trying to, we need to see the human quality, or see a different perspective, how it must be, even though we're doing our own work, even though we're still trying ourselves, see how it must be, how it must feel. I don't know what it's like to be a father of 10 children biologically and 2 bonus babies. I don't know what that's like. But I can make dua for someone that is going through that needs support, because they're doing it. It's reciprocal. It's a two-way street. But just as a friend of his, a wife, a friend, a sister in Islam, the human quality helped so much, to see the human side, to see that there's feeling there, that there's the willingness for it to work there. That matters to me. Because I can't do nothing with you if you ain't trying. You're not trying. I could do something with someone that's really trying. It might not be perfect, but doggone, if they're trying, that feels good to know. It's like a warm hug when someone is trying their best to succeed. You can go, you know what? They gave it a shot. They didn't give up. They kept going. And sometimes you have bad days and you just feel like you can't keep going. But that's where we have to have faith in Allah. That's where we have to make dua. That's where we have to support each other. I don't like to tell people you must. You're grown. You do what you want to do. I'm telling you what works. I'm telling you what makes a good, healthy environment for polygyny. It's when we look and we say, look, I'm not going to keep score of this. I'll support, I'll help. I'm not going to be diminished in any way. I have boundaries. What are yours? It's having those conversations and getting some discovery, getting some clarity, getting some information, and have actionable steps. And one of which is seeing it from another side, seeing it from another perspective. One thing that my co-wife and I have done is we looked at the side of the other wife and went, dang, that must have been rough. Ooh, I didn't know you were going through that. And we, within reason, like I don't know every aspect. It's not my business. And every aspect of my life is not hers. We're fine with that. It's cool. But wanting our husbands to win, and win meaning not be the man of the hour because he's married to more than one wife. I don't play that because there's arrogance attached to that. And I don't like arrogance. To be arrogant is to be unattractive. That's how I feel. Said what I said. Anyway, but to want them to win, and winning means that everybody's trying it. He's trying his best. He's doing his best with what he has and continuing to grow and get information as it comes to him. He might not have it all figured out, but at least there's effort put into winning. And when a man is winning, his whole family is winning. It's just a trickle-down effect, right? So yes, I wanted to film this and just kind of share that. There was a time where I didn't feel like I was winning. It didn't feel like he was winning. It didn't feel like my co-wife was winning. It didn't feel like the kids. It didn't feel like anybody was winning. And I was really terrible at just keeping score of stuff. And I had to learn. That doesn't work. It didn't serve me. So I started activating dua. And I asked Allah to help him, help guide his heart and his soul. And I still continue that to this day. That is the dua. And then there's some other things in there as well. But wanting our husbands to win matters because we're all part of the same family. And when they win, we win. When we win, they win. And it feels good to celebrate wins with people that you really love, that you care about. Now, some marriages don't work out. I know I say it all the time. It don't work out. It's not going to work. It's broken, and it's not going to work. You can't fix it. But if everybody's doing what they need to do and they're working on themselves and we're making dua for each other, this life is fleeting, and we're not going to be here always. So let's make the most of the time that we have with each other, because again, I'll say it again and again, we don't know how long we have to be husbands, to be wives, to be mothers, to be daughters, to be sisters, to be brothers. We don't know. So let's make the best of it by supporting one another in the goodness that we do for one another. And what we don't know, let's go find something out. Let's go get the information. Let's not give up, But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And that's okay, because that might be part of your growth journey. And I'm cool with that. I had a lot of stuff part of my growth journey. And I never thought I would be in this place that I am now, but I'm so grateful. And practice gratitude. That's another thing. Have an attitude of gratitude in everything, because even if it's not something that's not easy, you got a lesson there. You can use it. So with that, I hope you guys got some good gems, like I always tell you in all my videos. Once again, I'm Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com. Make sure you guys are following us on our socials, okay? Our social medias. So on Facebook and YouTube, we're Outstanding Personal Relationships, and on IG, we're Outstanding Relationships. So make sure you go over there and follow us. I'm going to leave you with a little GLC, as we always do. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and also Clubhouse under our names.
And make sure you go to OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com and sign up for our email list. And there you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
Absolutely. And last but not least, when it comes to coaching or counseling, if you want to work with us one-on-one or in group settings, make sure you're on that website and reach out to us, because we do have very limited spots, and we usually have a wait list. So with that being said, GLC.
Make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.